All right, this is the last section in Module 9. We're going to look at graphing two linear inequalities at the same time on a coordinate system and then shading the overlap if there is an overlap. So this first one asks us to write in the slope-intercept form and then use the slope-intercept method. So this is a nice review for us here that when we divide by a negative, changing an inequality around, we get a reverse of the inequality sign here. And so I get 5, negative 5 fourths x plus 5. Okay. So then to graph that, I would go up 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would drop 5 and go right 4. So drop 5, 4. Okay. Now reviewing what I learned in module, if I study module 8.6, this is a dashed line through here. Okay. All right. Now the Hawk system will draw that line there for you. Okay. Now let's test the point 0, 0 to see if it holds true on this first one. Okay. So I'm testing the point 0, 0. I have 0 is less than 0 minus 20. 0 is less than negative 20. This is false. So that means I would shade this side. I'm just making a little note to myself that I'd shade that side of the inequality, okay? Because I'm looking for the overlap of these two, okay? So now I'm going to divide by 3. We get y. I don't need to reverse the inequality sign, and I get y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, so my starting point's at 3. 1, 2, 3. My slope is 2. M equals 2 over 1. So I'll go up 2 over 1. And I could, draw a couple more points if I need it. I don't really need them, but I'm going to draw a solid line through that. Okay. And then I'm going to test the point 0, 0 in this one. So I have 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 9. 0 is greater than or equal to 9. That ends up being false, okay, for this one. So I would shade this side of my second inequality. Well, if you study this a little bit, where the overlap is right here, okay, because it was this side of this boundary and this side of this boundary. So there's the overlap. Now what they'll do in the Hawk system is they'll give you some letters, like they might call this A, B, C, and then this section D, and you would have to select D to show that that's the shaded section. Okay. Now what I've done also is I put this into Desmos, and there was our first thing we graphed, okay, the dashed line, and then here was the second thing that we graphed, the solid line shading to the left side or above it. And then if you look, there's the intersection right here, okay? And that's very similar to what we got from our longhand method, okay? The nice thing with Desmos is I can check my answer, and I don't have to put them in the slope-intercept form. I can just type it in the form that they give me, okay? So we're going to look at one more in this video. We're going to look at this one at the bottom of the page here, and it says use the 2-point method to do this. Here, we kind of think about that, and we've seen this before. We think about x equals 2 to find our points. So x is 2, and I just did 2, 0, and I'll do 2, 2, 3. Okay? The x part has to be 2. So I'll do 2, 0, and 2, 3, and we see that they're stacked on top of each other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a dashed line through there because there's not an equal sign, okay? Now sometimes it'll feel logical to you on which side you should shade, and you won't have to do the testing point. But let's think about this. It says x is greater than 2. Well, where are the numbers bigger than 2? Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're over here. Okay, so I shade this side of the line. Now looking at y is, I'm going to greater than or equal to 7. I'm going to think about y is equal to 7. So the y value is 7. Notice I put 7 for the y value, and I can put whatever I want for the x value, and I'm going to plot those points. 0, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I got that in the right spot. And then 3, 7 right here. Okay. This time I draw a solid line. Remember, this is solid. This is dashed. Okay. So I'm going to draw a solid line. This ends up being the horizontal line that we've seen in Module 8. Okay. So got a little crooked there at the end. All right. And it says greater than. Where are the numbers bigger than 7? Well, they're up here. Okay. So I would shade above that line. Okay. So if you think I'm shading to the right of this line and above this line, it's going to be this sector or quadrant right here that I would shade. Okay. So let's take a look at that real quick in Desmos. So the first one I graphed was that one, the green one. And then the second one I graphed was this one right here. And you can't quite, you can see it. And I remember with Desmos, the nice thing is I can use my roller mouse here, the wheel on my mouse, or I can drag this around a little bit too. So practice using Desmos. It's quite helpful and visual. It's a desmos.com graphing calculator. It's on your Talent show also. All right, we'll look at 2 more of these, and that will wrap up Module 9.